In today's video, I would like to show you 3 different movements. We have movement towards yourself, then we have movement away from you, and we also have movement pendulum, which is back and forth. And I'm using all 3 different movements when I'm working on the brows. We will be talking about hand positioning and about the needle and angle. So, hand position should be always your finger like this on the latex. Your angle should be 90 degrees and you should work very softly with almost no pressure back and forth. So, you do from the air to the air, from the air to the air, like this. I always coming back a little bit and move more. When you're working on your latex, you should always observe your latex, how the shading looks like. Over here and over here, it has to go out of the skin and out of the latex, and it shouldn't start like this. This is not right. This is right. This is not from the air. This is the reason why sometimes your brows can look really uneven or your pigment can be too deep. So we will do a little bit more of the pendulum movement over here. I am moving slowly. If you have some empty space, you can come back. And you can move again. It is really important to work on the latex at home, because this can show you what mistakes you do. On the skin, you are not able to see all the mistakes, but on the latex you will see everything. On the latex you can also see if you're not too deep or just too shallow, or if your pixels look nice and it looks like dots, not like a comma. So see, airy and airy. Here too, airy and airy. Now we will be working just towards ourselves. Perfect. And now we will be working away from you. With these movements, I'm working mostly where I want just a little bit of color or where I'm working on a soft front and top of the brow. When I'm working on a tail and I'm working at the bottom line, I'm always using pendulum movement like that because I want to put a lot of color and make it much more saturated. You can check if your pressure and your dots are nice and even by doing the soft and slow movement like this. See the dots? The distance between the dots is quite similar and the dot looks nice like a dot. If you would use not a good angle or not a good pressure, your dot can look like this. And this is not nice. You can see that the distance between the dots is not similar, and the dot looks really dark and it looks really drastic. Like if you would do this on your client, this part over here, this would be too deep and it would heal really ashy and grayish. We can work more with the pendulum movement over here and we can train together for a few more minutes. What is very important is to be really soft, no pressure at all, and your hand has to be relaxed. If you're working on a client and your hand is really like squeezed, your movement will not be so airy, and then your pixels will not look the same. Now I'm working with the short stroke machine. My needle is 0.35, one round liner long taper, and I'm using power supply with the voltage of 5.5, which is a little higher. When you use higher voltage, your pixels with this movement will be very small, nice, and you can create a nice and satin effect. We will continue. If you're a beginner, you have to really relax your hands, and you have to work on the latex a lot, because you have to learn how to do this, and then when your hand is able to do this movement, it's really easy for you to create a beautiful gradient and beautiful pendulum effect. It only takes time, and with the practice you will become better very quickly. So, soft and relaxed hand, 90-degree angle, airy movements back and forth, and I'm just moving slowly. As I said, when I see some empty space, I come back and then I move forward. It's really good to observe your noise from the machine and what noise your needle does, because it can help you to understand if you are in a good position of your hand, if it's 90 degrees, and if you're not too deep. So my hand is really relaxed, and I'm just a little coming back. Let's recap what we learned today. So, we were talking about 3 different movements of shading. So, first shading is back and forth, pendulum. Another movement is towards yourself. And another movement is away from you. When you're shading on latex, your hands should be very relaxed. You always have to work in a 90-degree angle, and your finger has to be like this, and this part should be in the air over here. When your hand position is like this, you are able to do beautiful movement from the air to the air, from the air to the air. Hopefully you learned something in this lesson, and we will continue in another video with a beautiful step-by-step shading, how I create amazing gradient.